Alright, welcome to Mass Effect Andromeda, and I'm about to do the ranking system of all the weapons that I've got currently in this game. Bear in mind that there are some weapons I haven't played with yet, and I'm not going to be going over the bronze or silver weapons because, I mean, let's be honest. But let's get straight into it. So, starting off with the assault rifles, I'll try and rank the weapons out of 10 for how I have them right now. So for the P.A.W, I would currently call this one an 7. It kind of resembles the particle rifle back in Mass Effect 3, but at this rate it does way less damage and the beam's recharge rate is much lower. So yeah, not really much a fan of it, so I call it a 7. Kind of weak for an 7 to be honest with you. The Halberd, a 5. It literally is a semi-automatic weapon. It does almost no damage. I mean, just pass up on it. If you got any of the other weapons, it's just much better. The Falcon, in this category, I'd call it a. It does decent damage. It staggers all enemies around. It's good for crowd control. It almost, if you have ammo, if you have like disruptor or cryo ammo, one shot will usually prime them, so you're able to do like loads of tech explosions, loads of cryo explosions. Just an overall good gun. I'd probably call this one about a high 8, almost a 9. The Revenant is the weapon I see most people commonly using. It's probably the most balanced gun out of this whole category as far as damage, rate of fire, everything else goes. It's quite a balanced weapon. Not too good, not too bad. It's literally just like right there in the middle. So I call this weapon about 7. The Sandstorm, don't use it. Just don't use it. I think I've used this once back when it was level 1. I heard it got a buff, but I heard one of my mates using it recently, and it still does little to no damage. Same for the sweeper. Apart from one, what is actually surprisingly probably my favorite gun in the game, all of the weapons that have the recharge rate does really low damage. They need to either buff them or slow down the recharge rate. But right now, I mean, out of these two, I still say the sweeper's better than this, to be honest with you, based on stats, and I was enjoying it more. Plus, it's lighter, so you could take something else with it. I'll call this one about a 7. In this whole category, I think the worst one would be the Halberd, and arguably, I think the best assault rifle in this category at the moment is the Falcon. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong, but amazing damage. Good rate of fire. The only downside is that it has a very low ammo clip. But if you use it on a soldier character, it completely compensates for that. Like, I think on a soldier, it normally has 20 bullets. On a soldier, it has 31. Plus, if you put on turbocharge, it goes to the 51. So, think of this gun as a slightly weaker version of the Cerberus Harrier in this game. But yep, that's it. Done for. Yeah, I'm not going over the bronze. I ain't even leveled up my silvers. Moving on to the pistols. The Eagle. Actually, I can't give it a rating. I've not used this gun yet. I've had it there for a while, but I can't honestly say I've used it. The Hurricane is still a good gun. It's just like how it was in Mass Effect 3. It does decent damage, very high rate of fire. Only problem, just like I had in the other game, is that you need to be at point blank range or have a good stability mod to make it viable, because the recoil will send it all over the map. I'll give this about a 6, to be honest with you. At the moment, I know it's a pistol, you're supposed to be close, but I just don't like the rate of fire on it. I didn't like it in Mass Effect 3, and I don't like it in this game either. The Ruzad, probably one of the more better guns in this game. I think it's got like, on most characters, it's got about 100 bullets, 600 in the clip. It shoots very fast, quite stable, decent damage. Same thing as most of the other guns that shoot very fast. If you have cryo or anything like that, it will detonate and prime your enemies very quickly. I'll give this one about an 8. I've used this gun once. I think this is probably the worst gun I've seen in the game, and it's an N7. It's a pistol with literally one shot in it, and it takes about 6 seconds to reload the gun. And the one shot does no in it. Look, you can see the stats. It only does 549 damage. If you compare that to the Talon, what always does 130 more damage, plus you can shoot it 4 times. I mean, technically, this has got a long range because it's like a pistol sniper. But it's horrible. Like maybe at level 10 when it has more clip and more damage, but at this point it's broken. I'll give this like a 2 or 3. The Equalizer is my favourite gun in the game at the moment. This gun is amazing. It has a limited ammo, great damage, great for priming, almost no recoil. I can't think of a single downside to this gun at the moment. Oh right, this gun does not have a limited range, but I think, how to give an example. say on Firebase 0, you probably get the range is probably from the middle platform to inside the buildings, but it doesn't really come as much of a problem because you're playing on small maps. This is probably the best gun in the game at the moment. Well, opposed to the OOP weapons, I give this a solid 9, close to a 10. It's got its. I wouldn't give it a 10 only because it doesn't have that range, which something you haven't used. The Hornet I haven't used, but I haven't seen anyone else use it. From what I'm seeing here, I'm assuming it's just like the Hurricane. Low damage, very high rate of fire, very high rate of fire, decent ammo clip. Just like your overall kind of, yeah, just a very high damage, high rate of fire gun. Well, the Scorpion, it's hard to say because in this game it's not bad. It's the only reason I was thinking that it was so bad is because I was comparing it to Mass Effect 3. It still does, it does decent damage. You know how this gun works. You basically shoot it on the floor, or you can shoot at enemies. But the way you want to use it is more or less shoot at the floor next to enemy's feet, so detonate straight away. It does decent damage. Like, it's not a bad gun. It's just not as good as it was in Mass Effect 3. I'll give this gun about an 8. The Sidewinder. Okay, this was the first gold I got, and I haven't used it since I had it level 3. I'll give it about a 6. Like, I can't remember anything bad about it. It just does not have the damage for what it is. It's just like a lower tier gold. So I'll just give it a 6 because I couldn't really drop anything with it. But I think you can shoot it. Like, if you want to like do some kind of cosplay or anything like that, it's fun for that. I guess like it's one of those like Western guns where every time you shoot it from the hip. Like, if anyone's played Destiny, it's kind of like the last word. That's like the best way I can really explain it. The Talon, easy the second. I think it's the gun that most people use in this game. I think it's the second best pistol. There's not much to say about this. Everyone knows it. It's an amazing gun. It's like a shotgun, point blank range, high damage, great for getting rid of shields and health. Even good for armor. I mean, overall, just another solid gun. I think these two guns are in a league of their own in compared to the rest. Like the Equalizer and the Ruzad are on that same kind of thing, but like you can even tell, like you can tell that that's an N7. I've got it 3 levels higher, but it doesn't make that much difference. 77 damage, 60, high rate of fire, more ammo because it's got a limited. Well, this has got more ammo in it, but it's got unlimited ammo, so it works out better. And it's, I know this was lighter, but yeah, overall I reckon the Equalizer and the Talon's a league of its own. For assault rifles, it would be the Falcon, the Falcon, and the P.A.W. Speaking of which, I don't have something yet. I don't know what. I'm missing something. The Black Widow, just as good as it was in Mass Effect 3. Probably the second best assault rifle sniper in the game. Major damage. Most characters you're getting four. Well, you'd only get 3 clips. It's because I have my soldier right now, so it's showing me max damage and everything. But let me put on. I'll be able to see the full damage of it. So yeah. Goes up to over 1,000 damage, 4 shots, clean, more stable than the Vanquisher, so I'll give this about a 9. The Valiant I have not used yet, so I can't give an opinion on it. The Nelson, I couldn't really tell because I think, I don't know, I'd call this a fun weapon. Basically everything you shoot, there's like an explosion radius of about 10 meters. So when you're firing this gun, you cannot see anything on the map. So it screws your teammates over if they're sniping as well. The damage isn't too great. Like, I think the damage is higher than what the stats show. Because I was 2-shotting most enemies with like health. So I think it does more than just 596 damage. But yeah, I'll call it a 7. I think once you get it to 10, it will be amazing. But I don't think it will compare to the Crusader sniper rifle before it was nerfed back in ME3. Ushior, like, I think it's my favourite sniper to use, but I think it is probably the 3rd best. Especially if you use it on a soldier or something like that, because you get like turbocharge so you can shoot it twice. It more or less one-hits everything. Like, I can one-hit berserkers with this weapon on a soldier. So yeah, the only thing you can't one-hit as long as you get a headshot is an Atlas and, well, Hydra, whatever you call it in this game. But obviously, most people are playing against Outlaw, so I'm not sure how it fends against the other enemy types. I'm assuming you'll be able to like one-hit and nullify and stuff like that, but very powerful sniper. Once it be 10, should be nice. The only thing I don't get is that the damage bar is maxed. So I'm not sure what's the advantage of getting the other 6 levels on this. Maybe more clip for the ammo? I'm not sure. The Lantern was the first gun that I got to X. Well, the first. Actually, I think it's still the only gun I got X. No, I got the thing. But I don't know. Actually, I can't really compare this because I loved using this like for ages before everyone learned the OP-ness of the Vanquisher and started using that. But yeah, very solid gun. I'll give it about an 8 to be honest with you. I mean, you can charge it, but I personally just kept on getting headshots with it. It's about the same damage as the Black Widow, I would say. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, that's without the thing. Nope, stronger than the Black Widow, but obviously Black Widow's got advantages. It's a little bit faster. It's got one more bullet in the mag, so it just depends on which one you want more. But this is a solid sniper. If you use this, you can't really go wrong. They screwed this gun over. I don't even want to talk about this, man. Back in Mass Effect 3, this was my favourite sniper in the game, and now its damage and recoil is disgusting. It is literally so bad at this point. Maybe it's because I don't have do I have a stability mod? Yeah, I don't have a stability mod right now, so maybe if I had that helps. But if you ever want to know the definition of recoil, they didn't come up in a dictionary. Use this gun and you'll find out what recoil is. 3 shots, you'll be aiming at I don't know, like at 90 degrees angle. You'll be facing the other direction after shooting about 3 bullets. This gun, its stability is so bad at the moment. I couldn't even tell how good the damage is because I just couldn't aim it right. Like, I could be holding the stick all the way down and it would still fly up to the air. So yeah, the gun's horrible at the moment. Yeah, just one of these another charged weapons. Very stable, high rate of fire. I mean, if you wanted to prime enemies with you know, cryo fire or anything like that, it'd be good. But the damage is non-existent. Like, I think I almost have to do the full mag just to kill an enemy with like red health. So either this gun needs a massive buff or thing like that. But the idea of unlimited round sniper that fires quickly was fun though. So hopefully in the future this gun will be buffed. It's not a bad gun, it just doesn't do enough damage. So I'll give it about, I don't know, about a 4 at the moment. By the way, I'm giving this a 2. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but I just feel like at this moment, the recoil is just disgusting. And everyone knows the OP meta, what is known as the Vanquisher. You know, every time you go to a game, there's always one guy that's using it. It is literally the strongest weapon in the gun. Strongest weapon in the game at the moment. This gun is crazy. I think with a soldier or anything like that, you get 5 bullets. Plus, if you put on turbocharge, you get 9. And this gun, if you got like sniper amp on it or anything, you could probably 2-hit a berserker with it and take out the Atlas eyes with 1 hit. Like even after the buff they did, this weapon still does crazy damage. So yeah, this is probably the strongest weapon in the game, so I have to give it a 10 at the moment. I don't really see a downside to this one. Loads of ammo, fires very quickly, fast recharge, fast reload. Everything's just a pretty solid gun. I haven't used any of these. I've seen some people use the Widow. Apparently it's still pretty good. Shotguns, the Dhan. I've only used it once to be honest with you, but I kind of liked it. Same time I kind of didn't. It just shoots out like this kind of plasma ball. It does decent damage. At level 1, it 2 hits all enemies with just health. It shoots pretty quickly. Decent ammo. I think this is probably one of the better shotguns in the game, especially when you get it to the max level. I think it's going to be pretty good. I'll give it about an 8 at the moment. The Crusader, I used it once at level 1. I didn't like it at all. It did no damage. The spread was a bit too far, either with the shotgun choke, which I know I have somewhere. What? Where's my hold up, where's my shotgun choke? Huh. It must have not been this one. One of them I had the choke on. What was I saying? I lost my track of mind. Yeah. So yeah, this weapon, yeah, just a bit weak, just a bit too much spread. I'll call it about a 5 for now. Maybe it goes down the middle. I've not seen anyone else really use it. It's not good. It wasn't fun when I used it. The Piranha just as good as it was in Mass Effect 3 after the nerf, not before it. But yeah, this gun's amazing at the moment. Probably if I'm gonna use a shotgun, it's probably my favorite one to use. Just go up close and start spraying. I think you get like, oh yeah, normally you have 8 shots, but with soldier you get 10. Yeah, just a good damage shotgun at the moment. I think I'll give this one about an 8. Yeah, the Hesh since getting the buff is definitely a lot better as well. It's quite close range, but again, if you put the spread reduction on it, it's very does clean damage. Even though the stats doesn't show it, it actually ends up out damaging my Piranha at this level. Yeah, it's got more bullets, higher rate of fire. Yeah, I guess it makes sense why it ends up being more in the end. But yeah, I think the Hesh is probably the strongest shotgun I've used so far. I don't know why I haven't used this yet. The Scattershot, I used it about 3 games ago because I heard it got a decent buff. Nah, still rubbish. It does nothing. Literally, like, you'll be shooting an enemy and they'll just be like, just wiping their chest, like, huh, what are you doing? So, yeah, there's another particle rifle or particle weapon, just not do no damage. And the Venom Shotgun, which, funny enough, I had it in X in Mass Effect 3 as well. I never got around to using it. I haven't used it in this game yet either, but I heard some people say it's good. I think it's wait, what's the description of this? This powerful semi-automatic weapon, fires explosive rounds. Yeah, that's right. It's the one that shoots fires explosives. So, yeah, I think this one's supposed to be pretty good, but I have not used it yet. But from what I can see here, decent rate of fire, decent damage. I mean, it's kind of pales in comparison to these two, but because it's explosive, it's also got that kind of stagger effect. So it might actually be good. But yeah, that's for the time being and where my weapons are at. I'll try and update this weapon when I have all the golds to 10. Which in this game probably won't take too long because I've really got everything more or less gold. It's just that new character that came out right now, so he's taking up my spots. I need to get him 5 more times to max them out, but everything else is already X, so more or less just getting weapons at this point. But yeah, I'll update this video when I get everything X and try out everything.